Good morning, everybody. I'm very, very pleased to see you all. And I'm even more pleased to be accompanied by four of our candidates contesting for the 18th general elections from the Visakhapatnam area. I've come here to have a word with all of you because we consider Andhra Pradesh is an important state where, unfortunately, in the last couple of elections, the Congress party has not been able to match its prior performance since independence. And we want to see this election as a turning point, a revival of the fortunes of the Congress party in this very beautiful coastal state of Andhra Pradesh. I've come from another coastal state, Kerala, where our voting finished last week. I have been traveling throughout the country campaigning for the party. And as you know, 3 phases are over and about half the seats, slightly more than half the seats, 282 seats have already voted. That means that we are now looking at a time at which some trends are very clearly apparent. The BJP, for the first time in this 3 elections, has lost control of the narrative. In 2014, they tried to sell themselves to the nation in terms of economic development. Mr. Modi was supposed to be the CEO of Gujarat. It was going to be Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, 2 crore jobs for everybody, doubling of farmers' incomes. All these kinds of economic stories were spun. By 2019, that narrative had failed. The demonetization had been a disaster. Many, many millions of people had been plunged into poverty. We had had large numbers of people who had actually found their jobs being shut down with the closure of micro and small enterprises which had been closed because of demonetization. In that terrible situation, they could not run on economic stories anymore. So they ran, particularly in North India, a national security election after the Pulwama terrorist attack, Balakot, Mr. Modi as the figure who was going to keep India safe against Pakistani terror, and so on. Today, even that narrative is not possible because of the failure of Mr. Modi's government on the border with China, where the Chinese have taken territory from us, where in 65 patrolling points, where both armies used to patrol, in 26 of those, the Chinese have parked themselves and the Indian army is no longer able to patrol there. And Mr. Modi and his government have no answers. So they cannot run on national security either. What does that leave them with? They have been trying to sell Hindu Hridaya Samrat, Ram Mandir. They're talking about Hindutva. And this is not working anymore because the people are beginning to ask real questions. We have no job for 10 years. You promised us jobs. Where are the jobs? We cannot afford to buy at the market what we were able to buy a few years ago because we don't have the money. Can you help us there? We are not able to double our incomes if we are farmers. On the contrary, our incomes have barely gone up in the last 10 years. These are the kinds of replies that BJP campaigners are getting. It is no longer going to be enough for them to try and shape the narrative the way they want. This election, we in the Congress party will say to the voters, this election is about you, the voter. It is about your well-being, your welfare, your future. The Congress offers very specific guarantees for justice, the Nyay projects, which we have got in our manifesto, and they are all over for Yuva, for Mahila, for ordinary people of every kind, all the Aam Aadmi, for workers, everybody we are trying to focus on in terms of social justice. That is the strength of the Congress's message. And as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, we want to repeat some assurances we've given you, because unlike Modi ki guarantee, Congress guarantees actually get implemented. Modi's guarantee never gets implemented. Congress party promises Andhra Pradesh that once again, we will commit ourselves, we have committed ourselves to 5 years of special category status for Andhra Pradesh. The same with all your other issues. The privatization of the Visakhapatnam steel plant, the RINL. For us, that is a wrong decision. 1 lakh workers and their families will be affected. On top of that, this is a plant that used to make profits until the BJP management started incurring losses. There is no justification for privatization of a successful enterprise. We will not permit the privatization of Visakhapatnam steel plant. On the other hand, with Polavaram, we will make sure that we reverse the BJP's decision to freeze the budget at the 2013 levels. We will say that we have to give you a revised budget so the project can be finished on time and at the same time extend all the benefits that were envisaged for the people of Andhra Pradesh. These are serious promises because the Congress party was at the origin of the guarantees that were given, and it was the BJP that failed to fulfill these guarantees. So today I'm telling you, you can count on us to support Andhra Pradesh in its quest for a brighter future and for development. And we should remind you all that of all the parties fighting in Andhra Pradesh, the Congress party is the only party that has never compromised with the BJP. Sadly, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy's government has made their peace and they've supported the BJP on every crucial issue in Parliament. The Telugu Desam party, which had attacked Mr. Modi and even moved a no-confidence motion against him, have now cravenly surrendered, even though the reasons for their no-confidence motion have still not been fulfilled. There is still no special category status. There is still no money for Polavaram. All the issues raised by TDP are not being fulfilled, and yet the TDP has surrendered to the BJP. You have one party that proudly says to you, we have never surrendered, we will not surrender, and that is the Congress party. So I end with an appeal to all of you, vote for the Indian National Congress, vote for the hand. We have 4 of our candidates here. I would request them all to raise their hand, the 4 candidates, asking for your vote for their victory. Jai Hind.
Sir,
Yes.
could you tell us what is your opinion of in AP, YS Jagannath ruling?
Of who's
Jagan Mohan Reddy.
Look, we've had a lot of disappointment with the way in which, despite the cooperation that Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy and his government extended to the BJP government, that none of these promises that I mentioned have been fulfilled. At least, if you're going to surrender to the centre, get some benefits from the centre for the people of Andhra and not only for yourself and your party. That is the big concern we have. If Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, by cooperating with the BJP, had brought you special category status, had brought you money for Polavaram, had got the decision on Visakhapatnam steel plant to be reversed, if all of this had happened, then we could have understood his cooperation with the centre. But Andhra Pradesh has had the worst of both worlds. You have had a chief minister who has surrendered to the centre and you had no benefits from the centre. So why should you continue to support such a government?